running.
It was cold, I was freezing, I'd had too much booze. So I thought I would pack up my cow for the night. She was packed to the gills with rare goods I had saved. Here's a big hole of ox for my lady. My comms panel opened, a voice said, "Ha ha, now give me 10 tons of your loot." I was stubborn and drunk and would not give this punk not 1 penny, so I blew it all. My lady was hoping for riches that night. When a rebuy I was down on my knees, but she just walked away from that empty ship bay. She said, "You're not the man that I need." Oh, I turned to the dark side, I hardened my heart. Oh yes, a mean pirate I'd be. I flew out of that station and into this song. Yes, I knew I had found what I'd be. I was flying my Cobra right out of Cremain with a hole full of Lave and brandy. I was swinging so deeply from my hidden mug, with the rest smell of onion head round me. Maybe I'll find a girl and forgot her one night, but put up with my pirating ways. But until then I'll drink from this old hidden mug, and I hope that I'll meet her one day. One day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my charms. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on my pirating ways. Well, hey. So I cooled down my Cobra and silent ran home. Sold all of my Lave and brandy, and some pink bass-neck gin just to give me a grin, and a puff of that onion head gladly. Maybe I'll find a girl and forget her one day, or put up with my pirating ways. But until then I'll drink from this old hunting mug, and I hope that I'll meet her one day. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my charms. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on my pirating ways. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, oh, I'll win back your heart with my gold and my art. Oh, one day, Christmas Day, but until then I'll keep on with my pirating ways.
Hull integrity compromised. Under attack. Surface scanned by 100%. Surface scan complete. System scan complete.
When the bases fall and the powers call for commanders to carry the load through our barriers and the carriers, can they take the seat of a When the story flows and the bubble goes, will command us reach for a new world. Can the convoy fly and the whole rats try to keep the fleet from destruction? Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. Nothing's gonna change, just stop the fight between us, even on the edge of the night. Come and go, Kalinka, someone's gonna gank us, but we all wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together. One big jump into the unknown, working hard to keep the seed of humanity growing. Nothing's gonna change, just stop the fight between us, even on the edge of the night. Come and go, Kaling, 'cause someone's gonna gank us, but we all wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together.
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Flying so fast through the hills and canyons, hurting like a fool, don't need companions. The last guy who came on the multi-crew left a stain on the seat after I got through. Bruce turns fast, if he on, if he off, falls for a breath, it'll just be a death. The close to the ground, no, the bigger the smile, turn your hood right off if you live in style. I got nothing but speed in my veins, you know your life's too slow. I got nothing but speed, and they say speed kills, but it don't. It's the ground, you know that sound. This asphalt turns not down so well. The vibe is so fast and good for a chill. And he goes best with everything turned up to tip the ridge and it's gone and up. All the plans are gonna get a reroll, so I'm searching for heaven, not blind flat hell. I wanna fly fast, see what I've got until my eyes are burning and dribbling snot. I got nothing but speed in my veins, you know you like. is not with a clan. I find my own way, always the wrong way. My politics entirely my own. My life got owned by a star stone. My every move is watched and controlled. My hidden captor has something he's after. So I must venture where I am told. So I fly for the empire, but I don't ask its glory. No, not a slave for the empire, for this empire. So I fly for the empire, but I don't ask its glory. No, not a slave for the empire, for this empire. Evacuees from a station, set aflame by the weapons of war. Can't hear their sad lamentations. It's just a job that I do nothing more. Don't live when I go and data. The good will run out, saving a bag. I watch them burn just as fast as I earn. But reputation leads me to rag. So I fly for the empire, but I don't ask its glory. No, not a slave for the empire, for this empire. So I fly for the empire, but I don't ask its glory. Don't give a damn about the empire, and just as long as they pay, I fly through empire, gain trust, respect, and access. Climb high there empire, then afterwards I'm gonna cut my strings. I fly through empire, gain trust, respect, and access. Climb high empire, then afterwards I'm gonna cut my strings. I fly through gain trust.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from an orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 528 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, sorry to disappoint some of you on YouTube, Commander Psychit, and joining me in the orange Sidewinder bar for this episode are our head of health and safety, Commander Ed Levice, otherwise known as Ben.
As head of health and safety, I do have to warn you about not becoming hysterical.
I'll do my very best. I'll see what I can do. We have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
And we also have, we're double dipping with quizzes today. I'm never saying that ever again.
Well, hey!
Okay, we have the Chris Mark IV.
Never say never.
And we also have the Chris Mark V.
Never say never again.
Hey! Okay. Brilliant. Excellent. Great stuff. If you wish, you can join us live. The Chris Mark IV, you are hanging out in open and usual table at the bar, I'm guessing?
I am standing at the usual reserved table in the Lave Station bar. Come along and say hello.
Phenomenal. And Ben is, we'll get to what Ben's doing probably in a minute. If you can't get in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live and clicking on live chat, or via twitch.tv/laveradio. We're also on YouTube, but it's a silly place. Hi, folks. How are you doing? Let's start with, let's see. I'm going to start with Alec. How's your week been, Alec?
Start with the bad news. I like it. Up till Saturday, my week was fine, and Saturday night was lovely. We did lots of racing with the elite racers. It was fab. The event went off fantastically. We did lots of ring racing, and then we went down to Fort Ash and we did lots of SRV racing, and there was loads of people, and it was really good fun. And then I took everyone on a guided tour of where Ben's going tonight to round the evening off, so it was lovely. Sunday morning, first of all, the clocks changed, and I didn't quite realise, so I sort of got up and then looked at the clock and thought I'd got up way too early, and then sort of went back to bed and then couldn't sleep and got up again. So I was not focused to start with. Switched my PC on to play Elite, put my water down, missed the mark, and tipped my glass of water over my computer, which immediately started popping up USB power surge warnings. So I switched it off very quickly, and then I let it. I had a look, and actually, very little water had landed on the main bit of the PC, just a little bit. I've got these top-mounted USB slots at the front, and a little bit of water had gone in those. Really not very much, but some. I couldn't see any visible water, but if I dipped, I know you're not supposed to do this, but I did it very carefully. I dipped a little bit of kitchen towel in the USB slot and it came out damp. So I unplugged everything, unplugged the whole PC, took the PC into a room we have at the back that gets lots of sunlight, and I left it in the sunlight for a good 10 hours, I would say. There was no trace of water. My little litmus test with kitchen towel came out dry. I thought, good, that's that fixed. Plugged it all back in, switched it on, and smoke came out of the top. Never a good sign with a PC, so I've killed my PC, and it is being taken away tomorrow to be fixed. So I had to dig my old PC back out of the attic, which is what I'm speaking to you now. I've been trying to play Elite. It's funny when you upgrade a PC. I don't know if other people experience this, but you spend huge amounts of money on modern graphics cards, and although it does kind of look better, you do find yourself thinking, does it really look £1,500 better, or whatever you've spent on it? But I'll tell you what, when you go back to the old PC that you abandoned, having blown your new one up, it does look bad. It's janky and the frame rate's terrible and it keeps crashing. Anyway, so that's my life for the next few weeks. But I will get my PC back and it will be fine. And I'm trying to remain calm. If you hear any weeping in the background, it's fine. Just carry on.
I'm sorry, bud. I really am. I'm so sorry. I hope they fix it and it's all wonderful and shiny and excellent again for you without any problems.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Careful with your drinks, folks. Turns out computers and drinks don't mix at all well.
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it?
Tippy cup.
Yeah.
Buckyball branded tippy cups coming soon.
I suppose I have two takeaways from this. One is I'm really glad I kept my old PC. Because I did think, although it's not modern, it's got a 1080, I did think, this is all right, I should give this to somebody. But I didn't. I just put it in the attic and forgot about it. And I'm so glad I did that. And the other thing I'm going to do, and this is absolute bolting the gate after the horse is bolted, but I don't really like these top-mounted USB slots. I mean, they are just begging to have things go in them. So I'm going to get some little blank plugs that you can put in.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Frankly, that would have saved it. That absolutely would have saved it. I mean, too late now, but yeah, for next time.
Well, fingers crossed everything works out absolutely fine. Ben, how's your week been?
Yeah, my week's been good. Not a heck of a lot's actually happened during it. I think I might be approaching the end of the main storyline finally in Horizon Forbidden West. I think I'm doing that. I'm not quite sure, but I think so. I've been playing Forza with my son. And Tether Space Game got a big mining shoot the orbital laser kind of thing, and I had fun on Saturday doing that. That was very mad. I was going to go to the cinema, but there was bollocks all on that I wanted to see. And I got a can of macaroni cheese. Yeah.
Wow.
Wonderful.
I wish my week had been as boring as Ben's. I really do.
Amazing. Chris Mark 4, how you doing, my lovely?
Hello, pal. Hello, pals. I'm doing all right. I'm good at the moment. I've been using up some annual leave before the end of the annual leave year. So had a nice few days off and had unexpected Scottish sunshine yesterday, which was nice. I have been able to go outside without my big coat.
Wow.
So that is how tropical it has been up north. So yeah, been really nice. What have I been up to? I have been to the cinema. I went to the cinema last night and I saw Death of a Unicorn, which
you want to see that?
which is the new Paul Rudd film. It also stars Jenna Ortega. It's got Will Poulter in it, who is excellent in the character that he plays. Yeah, essentially, Paul Rudd runs over a unicorn, and hilarity ensues. Therefore, and maybe some death. Spoilers. So I will keep it as spoiler free as possible. But yes, death of a unicorn. I thought it was actually quite good fun. I wasn't. I was worried it was going to be not too scary, but maybe too gory or something for me, and I found it all right. So there you go. You know, I normally like my happy unicorns, but Legends of Tomorrow and this have now told me otherwise. It turns out I like Death by Unicorn. So yeah, saw that yesterday. What else have I been up to? Oh, just bits and pieces of the usual. And then in game, I have been colonizing. I have got 2 little systems that I am sort of plodding away at, doing little things. Still building my tourist settlement at the moment. I have not finished it off because I've been distracted. So yeah, got to do some trade runs and bits just to finish that off. I don't have a lot to still put in there, but yeah, it'll be done soon. And yeah, just trying to figure out how all the systems work. I've got 0% happiness. No one's happy, but no one's upset either. But also no one's making any money. So I don't know what's going on.
Fair enough. Quiz Part 5.
Yes.
Please enlighten me as to what you've been up to in these last few weeks.
Friday I went for lunch. Hang on, I'm going to crash into a planet. And then on Sunday we went to the beach, which was fun. Artie ran around like a lunatic after a frisbee. He had great times. There was much barking. Other than that, not really much. Helped you sort out your computer. And then in game, I've been working on a city that's entirely stocked with clones of a guy called Graham.
Okay.
Graham City, and yeah, just trying to get that built at the moment because that should become a refinery port if I've done this right. Which I may not have. We'll find out if the city of Graham's is a refinery or just full of sadness.
Who knows? We'll find out. We'll all find out together and it'll be very exciting. Okay, what have I been up to? Much like Chris, I also went to the beach on Sunday. God, it was beautiful weather on Sunday. How dare it? How dare it be such glorious weather when I have to do things like put computers together and rebuild my OBS from the ground up and that good stuff. It's been it's been really fun. I've rebuilt. I have had good experiences with the computer, and we had. I have installed a new C drive. I've installed my new graphics card, and I played Elite today, and it didn't crash OBS once, and I was so happy. It was so smooth. It was so lovely, and I am over the moon. I'm not gonna say right now that it's fixed and that it's great because I don't trust it to be fixed instantly. I'm going to give it some time. I'm just going to enjoy that I have something that is actually working, and I've loaded up some other games with the new graphics card. The things are pretty. Everything's really pretty. It's a pretty thing. So that's been really fun to do. I've done quite a bit of hauling in game. We finished off a mine today, a mining settlement, and I was doing like a refinery hub on the same planet, not too far away from it. And I think I've got four more trips to do, and then that one will be finished. And yeah, I'm a little bit distracted because Ben is currently visiting a system in game. Ben is currently visiting a station in game this is a station that has got the outpost and the Coriolis, right? It occupying the same space.
Yeah. And they rotate as well. Can you land on the outpost as well?
Yes. It takes a while to get a landing pad, but yes, and it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
That's
enjoying
bonkers.
the outpost rotating through the bar.
If you land on the outpost, Ben, then go and see if you can find some NPC mission givers because they're very funny.
Okay, I'll go and see them in a bit, but yes.
Do you get delivery missions to each of the stations? Are you able to just hop from landing pad to landing pad doing
Oh my
local
god, that
trade
would be
runs?
incredible.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
You know, when people used to come up with like the best, quickest sort of trade runs, is that now the quickest
We
one?
found
Where
it. We found it.
if you wait for the
Jump out the
station to
window.
rotate round enough, you could basically take off from one pan, turn the ship around, and you've landed on the other.
We found
That's
the
wild.
anti-Hutton.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the home run. Okay, right. So, you may have noticed that we have no Colin. Colin has got some family stuff that is going on, and we hope everything is all right. And we look forward to hearing from Colin again next week. He has given us notes for things that he wants to be said today, so we'll cover those when we get to them. Let's move on. Let's move on to the development news. What have the devs said this week? Oh, we had Frontier Unlocked on Wednesday. We did. And we got more information about the Corsair. And we got some colonization stats, but we'll do the Corsair first. So they gave us lots of information about the Corsair. Well, I say lots. They gave us more information about the Corsair. So we got optional internals were 1 each of a size 1 to 4, and then 3 each of size 5 and 6. And for the core internals, there's a size 7 power plant, size 7 thrusters, 5 FSD, 4 life support, 7 power distributor, 6 sensors, and 5 fuel tank, with room for 2 commanders available next week. I think that's
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Though, isn't it? So we had some debate, but honestly, wow. Do you still not like it even after that? Wow.
I'm not keen. I'm not keen.
Oh my god!
I wish we found out what utility slots it has.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll have enough.
I
feel. Do you know what? I feel it's funny because I suppose this shit's on my mind at the moment. But I feel like utility slots are treated a bit like USB ports in a new computer. Everyone gives you all the numbers on the graphics card and the memory and the hard drive and they never tell you how many USB ports it's got.
Yeah, even though that's quite important to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we doing the team beak or the team no beak thing?
They tweeted that, didn't they? They did a tweet. Are you team beak or team no beak? Hey, you know what? We ain't yucking anyone's yum. If that is I ain't gonna do that. If that is what you're into, that's fine. I will judge you from afar, but I won't mention it. I don't like it. No beak. Go on then.
I've got to say, it's like seeing seeing it on video. I think it looks a lot better than it did in the initial pictures that we got. You know, the couple of wireframe shots and stuff. It does look a lot nicer. Like the paint job that they picked for the promo image, the first promo image that they picked out was bobbins. Some of the other ones actually look a lot nicer. And then when you see it sort of flying through the canyons and stuff, the sort of flying shots, it looked a lot nicer.
And I'm with Arthur as well, that the chrome, especially with that spoiler that goes across the back, I do love that. I love that very much.
No, still hoping.
I still want the like a set of googly eyes that you can put on it. You know, I still want googly eye decals for the decal.
I'm sorry, but it's a double bag job that. You wear one and you put one on the ship.
What about you, Ben? How do you feel about it? Ben?
I am totally and utterly team beak, as I might have been displaying on screen.
Team beak.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I thought I'm weird actually about this because I like it when you've got. I like the one where the darker color is on top of the lighter color. So like when you got the blue on top of the white, then I'm team beak. But if it's white on top of blue, I think that looks weird.
I think cool that they've managed to make a ship kit which does soften the impact of the beak. It's quite neat.
Well, they'd have to.
Alright.
Woohoo! That's fighting talk right there.
I mean, internals wise and everything, it does seem like the new ships recently have been massively overpowered, haven't they? Or do we think they're just powered right? Because
No, they are
another one that's going to
overpowered
kill
by
a
the
bunch
originals.
of ships, isn't it?
They don't see many compromises, do they? Yeah, have
No.
everything, have it all.
Yeah.
It used to be, it was like, oh, it'll be really, really fast, but you're going to have rubbish internals, or you're going to have tons of guns, but your power plant is going to be so tiny that you're not going to be able to use them all. And now it's like, no, just have everything. Have it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen people talking around those lines, and I've seen that as I feel like that is, rather than being whether or not you think it's ugly or not, I think seeing a like the core internals growing and those kind of things, that is your that might be a cause for concern, because then is every ship going to like nullify all of the previous ships? And I know that that's not necessarily the case, because I was talking about this today, and I do 90% of my power play stuff I do in the Mandalay. I do 90% of most of my gameplay now in the Mandalay, unless I'm colonizing, which is obviously it's going to be a big ship. Or the one thing that like the Mandalay can't do is like the Threat 5 collection things, you know? So I that's the only time when I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch out to a Corvette, and then I'll use that, and then I'll switch back to the Mandalay. So I kind of worry that all, cause I love my Python so much, but I just feel like it's maybe some of these new ships are biting the other ships obsolete, and maybe that is a good thing.
Well, I was going to say, Psychic, because I'm the same.
Yeah.
So I just live in the Mandalay now, but I I have these thoughts about, oh, what a shame about the old ships. But here's the thing: on a scale from 1 to 10, where I guess 1 is very sad and 10 is very happy, how sad are you about flying around in your Mandalay? Because to be perfectly honest, although
No,
I'm
get
extreme.
it.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, I love flying around in my Mandalay. I'm not really complaining, although I have these momentary thoughts about, oh, it's a shame about the other ships. The simple fact is, Frontier have given us this new ship, and I love flying it. I'm having such a good time in it, so I don't know that that's a bad thing.
To be fair, we've had 10 years of flying these ships that aren't SEO compatible, and now we've got these new ships that look more exciting, and it's like bringing Elite into its second age, maybe, as it were. So maybe I'm more than happy to confirm that it probably is just a me problem, but also I do find myself going, just give the Corvette a little bit more love and let that be SEO compatible, and they'll go back to flying that all the time. That'd be really great. But we also got some colonization stats. We had this is the colonization stats, so that claims made are now up to 42,226, which is up just over 15,500 on the 13th of March numbers. Systems colonized has nearly doubled to 23,423. The starports and outposts completed has again nearly doubled to 47,821. That's so many. That's so many things. Holy shit. We've only had it for how long? We've had it for just over, at this point, we'd only had it for like a month. Is that right?
I think so, because where are we? Tuesday? I think just at the end of last week, I think, was it the date when the very first claims would have failed if you hadn't delivered your stuff? So we're just in like week 5 or something, I think.
Blinking heck. Surface installations completed, again, nearly doubled to 27,227. And the total units of cargo delivered is 1.5 billion. And that is too many cargoes. We need to calm down.
Yeah. I can't decide if I need to be worried by these numbers or not. There's an awful lot of space out there, I suppose.
Yeah, true. And then the thing is, I ended up going to a colonized system because it was Inara told me that was where I was going to get my bits today, and I went to it, and there was hardly any stuff there. So I think we will naturally slow down the further we get out away from the like the trailblazer ships and the ships and the stations.
supplies.
So yeah, it will naturally slow down the further out we grow, unless there's another CG where they're like, hey, we'll move the mega ships out to the edge again in like 4 weeks time and give you more of them or something like that.
I kind of hope they don't though. I kind of hope they don't, because then I think it's natural it'll get past this worry that some people have had. I know, Ben, you've mentioned it on the show before, of having empty systems with like nothing there, like one station built because you need to do one station to claim the system, and then like move on to the next one and move on to the next one in the big chain. Because it means that in order for you to progress and move further out, you're going to have to build up the systems that are already there.
Yeah.
It's like enlightened interest to help out other commanders who are trying to build their big Coriolis station or get their refinery system running and stuff like that. Because otherwise, you're not going to have the supply line in order to build your bit that's slightly further on. Or, you know what I mean? If they keep putting Trailblazer mega ships everywhere, then there's not really an incentive to build up the systems. Or there's one less incentive, I should say, for building up a system.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I get you.
I like that idea.
I get you.
I also think it will slow down because surely not everyone's goal is to just see how far they can go. I mean, for me, the goal was to find a nice system with loads of nice planets and then sort of sit there and develop that. I'm not really interested in making loads of hops to find more of the same. I found my nice system. So surely it will slow down in that regard, that some people will be trying to see how far they can go, but surely at least 50% of the people doing this will find the system they were trying to get to and then settle down and start building it up.
I think it was for me, like I've got my two systems and I'm like, okay, tourism, let's work on that one being tourism, let's work on this one being like a coal refinery and those kind of stuff. I was really excited about all of that, and then I started seeing what other people were doing with the little spikes that were coming off the bubble, and the thing to Polaris, and the stuff that's heading in the Pleiades way, and those kind of things. And I'm just like, I want that.
Right. Okay.
I want to do that now. I want that. I want. That seems like it might be fun. So yeah, part of me is like, yeah, I want to build a big pointy bit out of the bubble and see how far I can get. It'd be quite cool. Wouldn't it be cool to get to the Catspaw Nebula or something like that? I know that's 5k away, but wouldn't it be cool just to like wangle your way out there and have like little outposts along the way? God, that's so much work. I'm not doing it. Someone else do it. I realised now that feels too much.
Commander Terakov and to a lesser extent Baron von Noodle have relevant points saying, you know, that they think there's an element of the novelty factor in it, and it's not just the fact that, you know, I've done this, but it's like, yeah, okay, I've done this and I'm bored now.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've achieved what I wanted to achieve.
I thought I was bored of it. I thought I was done with it. And then I spent the whole of today hauling, and I had a lovely time. So I'm just sort of like, oh no, I'm not. I'm not finished. I'm not done. So that was kind of cool to relearn that I wasn't quite done with it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe people will go, okay, I need to just have a moment or go and do something else. I mean, there's plenty of other stuff that you can do. You know,
I feel like this happens, you know, when Frontier do something new. Same with the Thargoid War. We kind of forget that there's a huge game out there. There's so many things to do. And
yeah,
sure, get back to them for sure. There was that thing called Power Play. Remember that? That was quite good. Wasn't it?
I did my Power Play weeklies last week, mate. I remember Power Play.
Good job.
Yeah, I really like it, and I also think it makes for a really nice stream because we can just like effuse about Elite and talk about it's pretty much like a Lave Radio episode where we just chat about Elite and we talk about how much we enjoy the game mostly, and I feel like hauling you can kind of do on autopilot, so yeah, I like that. Yeah. Hey, shall we have a look and see what the community's been up to?
Go for it.
And now to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
I was a bit pissed off on Sunday, so originally this was empty, but I've managed to fill it with stuff again. Got all enthusiastic again today and started looking.
Hey.
Right, first up, Commander Mechan's been very busy on YouTube. He's been vomiting out videos like a man who's digested far too many Trailblazer mechanics. So anyway, the one I'm going to shout out is called How Build Points Work, a Trailblazers tutorial. It's quite long, it's about 20 minutes, but it's a very good sort of tutorial on the whole tier 1, tier 2, how that works. So if you're still struggling with getting your head around, how you build up tier 1 points and how those feed into tier 2 points and how you get the things that require them, then yeah, that's a good video. And he's got a couple of others. He's been studiously trying to work out how kind of the economy stuff works, and he had a stab at it and made a video and got it wrong and then published a retraction, and then I think he's published another one. So work in progress there, but he's trying very hard to understand all this stuff. Yeah, right. Next up is so I Tolu. I've been shouting out I Tolu because he's been doing this sort of Isinona style flight assist off series, very regular. I've been watching these as we're up to about episode 10 now. They're great. I really enjoy them. He's just trying different things and then just sort of captioning his adventures in the way that Isinona used to, and he's also flying exclusively flight assist off and getting extremely good at it now. So they're really entertaining, but he's also chipped in on, this was ages ago now, but I did a thing of posting 100 screenshots, making a video of your 100 best screenshots, and he's just latched onto that and done his own. So it's called Past Life Elite Dangerous in 100 Images. It's really good. There's lovely screenshots. What I really like, somebody else did this as well, but he's added sound effects, so if there's a screenshot of, there's music, but then if there's a screenshot of the SRV, you can hear the SRV in the background, and then there's lots of boosting sounds and bits of dialogue. So it really brings it to life. Each picture's got its sort of own little bit of background audio.
Like a soundscape for the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I'll watch that.
Yeah, it is cool. Somebody else did it as well, but I can't remember who. Next up, a couple of videos. I mean, it's what Ben's showing us live on stream. There's been loads of videos, but if you want to take a look at this outpost that spawned inside an Orbis, then there's a nice video by Nug on it called Colonization Bug Station Spawned Inside Another Station. And Galnet News Digest have done a fantastic video. I think that came out today, called The Silliest Station. And it has a look at all the silly stations that colonization has thrown up. I think proclaiming this one the silliest. But yeah, they're both really good. If anyone wants to go to this place, until it really is worth going to and playing around at. So it's in, I'll read it out once. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes as well. It's Col 285 Sector TY-W B16-1. And the Orbis is called German City, and the outpost inside it is called Michael City. And yes, you can dock at both. It's quite hard to get docking permission at the outpost because there's only a couple of pads, but if you're patient, you can dock at both. And it's worth doing that and going wandering around the concourses and things, because there's a lot of very funny things going on. Right, next up is a video.
Can you actually get to the concourse? Because I left my ship and went to the elevator.
Yes, it's extremely difficult. You tend to get pushed to the right-hand wall. But if you're persistent and kind of go as far left as you can, and it probably depends on what pad you get as well, you can actually get to the lifts. It's a little bit tricky.
I mean, I'm enjoying glitching through the station at the moment.
Yeah, there's all sorts of lots of fun going on there.
Yeah.
Next video is by Duck. So I mentioned doing the Elite Races event on Saturday night. So Duck has actually become one of the finest SRV drivers in the game. So he sort of really picked up on the ED Copilot time trials, really latched into it, and has been doing incredibly well in the SRV. And he's done something that I tend to do quite a lot, and just go driving for the fun of it. And he's released a lovely video called Green Hills of HIP 22460 7C. And for anyone who likes my videos of long distance driving in the SRV, Duck has his own style. He's got different sort of music choices and slightly different way of driving. So if you like that stuff, then it's a good watch. Next up is a video request from Takoso called All Hauled Together Video Contest. So this is just a sort of short promo teaser trailer for it. But basically, Takoso is after footage of interesting things you've built with colonization. Hopefully 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second minimum, if possible. And he just wants to see what people have called things, if they've got any cool locations, great views, all that sort of stuff. And I guess he's going to throw it all together into a music video. Right. Oh, just a quick shout out. We mentioned this ages ago, but there's been zero take up on it. So either everyone's about to release their videos, or it's just fallen by the wayside. But just to remind people that on justabout.com there is a bounty. I think they don't call them bounties anymore, rewards or something, called This Is My Elite. This Is My Elite Dangerous. And it's basically a challenge to make a 3-minute video that sums up what that means to you. This is my Elite Dangerous. It's a very open, brief 3-minute video. There are 50 prizes of $120 still up for grabs.
There is a reason why nothing's been published yet.
Go on.
Or nothing's gone for it yet. It's because the challenge, This Is My Elite Dangerous challenge, the brief says that the video must be published between April the 14th and the 21st.
Oh, well spotted.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why there's been no uptake. But you've got a good 2 weeks if you want to take part in this, with a look to maybe get one of the $50, $120 rewards to do it. The reason they're wanting to do that is to saturate an algorithm so that more people do this thing within that particular time frame. But yeah, that's okay, why there's been no entries yet.
Cool. Oh, well done for reading the small print. I guess I just didn't. Oh, okay, yeah. In which case, you've still got a few weeks. So as long as you've got a fucking working PC, then go for it. Right. Did anyone on the crew here take part in Distant World 3's Shoulder of Orion event on the 30th?
I didn't know about it, so no.
I'm guessing not. Okay, so this was the thing. It was kind of Distant Worlds 3. They're trying to have a bunch of events leading up to the actual expedition to, build a community and get everyone sort of playing together. So the first thing they wanted to do was to start a colonization chain, I guess, to get out to the place where Distant Worlds 3 will launch from. So they had some kind of event. I didn't go, and I haven't heard many reports, but I did find just one thing that said update on Shoulder of Orion Day 1. As of now, approximately 250 light years were covered and 20 systems colonized. 312 commanders involved, according to the roster. So, yeah, it's basically a massive team colonization effort. I saw something else that said that one station was completed in like 25 minutes or something. So that's what you can do if you've got a lot of people, I guess. Be interesting to see how far they get. Item 8 on the list is another Distant Worlds 3 crossplay event. I will read out the description and then I will let people make up their own minds about it. It's called Distant Citizens, a Distant Worlds 3 crossplay event. And the blurb is, we have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to provide you the best content any science fiction game can offer, because you just deserve it. The Distant Worlds 3 organization team is proud to make yet another fantastic announcement. We have successfully entered a partnership with Robert Space Industries and are working on an awesome cross-game event that we will call Distant Citizens. Yes, we plan to bring both the Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen communities together in a gargantuan effort. And I guess I would just advise people to check the date on that one. Right, last couple of things. Race results. I just thought I'd whiz through some race results. So yeah, the Elite Racers Titan Cup event that was that I took part in on Saturday, absolute hoot. So it was 2 races. The first was called Haddad Stakes, and we were basically using the 17 ringed bodies in HIP 22460 as gates. For anyone else who has little communities, or any of you sort of streamers out there who occasionally do racing, I have to say this worked a bloody charm. It's really, really fun. Everyone had an incredibly good time. All you do, you need to find a system that's got lots of ringed bodies. And basically, the start line is you're all just in Supercruise orbiting the star within fuel scooping range. And on the designated go time, you just head off with Supercruise overcharge. That's what really makes it fun. And you basically just have to fly through each of the rings, like between the body and the ring of bodies, in this case 1 to 17, but whatever you've got in your favorite system. And the finish line is whoever goes through ring 17 first. It was really fun. We managed to do loads of heats and it was an absolute blast. Winner was Commander Skur, who went through all 17 in 5 minutes 34. Then Tobias von Brandt in 8 minutes 1. And third place after some disqualifications was me. Yes! In 8 minutes 20. And then a bunch of others. Kevin the Stabber, Epiphus, MK Max, OES, Sulu, I Tolu, Duck, Shay, and Mr. Indigo. And then after that, we all went down to the surface of 7C, where 4 Ash is, and we did an SRV race around 4 Ash, a 3-lap SRV race. The terrain there is gnarly as hell, and there's all sorts of bits of wreckage to get caught on. So, and somebody pointed out that somebody was sort of made a comment about where are the choke points on this race course, because there was about 10 of us doing it, and somebody else replied, the entire course is a choke point. It is not, which is really true.
No.
It's lots of narrow corners and tunnels and ramps, so it was an absolute bun fight. It was a real scrap, and it was fucking hilarious. And the winner of that again was Skur, and Duck came second, and MK Max came third, and then everyone else. It was really good fun. Sticking with racing, we have a buckyball race which is on right now called Time and Motion Study. This is the one where you have to predict how fast you're going to visit 4 stations, and then you have to live up to that. And if you don't, you get penalised. So far we've got 3 people in regulation class. Martin Jameson is first, Epiphus is second, and Edelgard von Rhein is third. Time for those runs is around the 16:30 mark, so if you've got a spare 17 minutes, give it a crack. It's really easy. And in unlimited class, where you can use any ship you like, we have in first place Shay Blackwood in 12 minutes 30, Tobias von Brandt in 14 minutes 20, Sulu in 14 minutes 50, and then a bunch of other people. But yeah, we've got about 9 on that leaderboard so far. That race will run until, where are we now, Tuesday? Next Monday. So right through to next Monday, whenever you fancy. There's a forum thread, and yeah, it's a nice, easy, quick race. And that is it for this week's Community Corner.
Amazing. Okay, that's oh man, that's really cool. That I'm gonna switch some stuff around. I really want to take part in that. It looks really fun. So just to clarify, the regulation class, it's the same Cobra, but I'm just switching out the SEO, right?
Yes, you're sticking in a 3C. I can't remember. It's in the forum thread. It's basically It's the SEO that's got exactly the same range as what we used to have, but
Oh, nice. Okay.
but obviously has SEO.
Oh,
4C.
sweet.
Thanks, Epaphras. 4C.
That's really cool. Excellent. Good. Cool. Well, if you have a community event taking place soon and you would like for us to shout out about it across the airwaves, then get in touch with us on our social medias. So we're at Lave Radio pretty much everywhere, or you can email info@laveradio.com, or my good friend Alec Turner will find you no matter what PC he's using.
I might be a bit slower, but I'll still find you.
Let's move on to the in-game events. What's happened this week? Well, we had one. We had one today. We had a Galnet article that dropped, and this Galnet article is it's baff about the Imperial Corsair. Imperial socialites were treated to a tour of Gitmeyer's newest ship. So yeah, they talked lots of good stuff about it, and it was an advertising moment. But is that the first one we've had for a couple of weeks now? The first Galnet article?
Yeah.
After Lantern Light.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought of a bunch of influencers getting early access to something?
Couldn't be me. Don't know what you're talking about. I don't recognise that at all. That's never happened to me at all in the science.
No.
Yeah, why would they do that? That's really strange.
They don't leak anything.
Hopefully. Here's hoping, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, before I get on some kind of crazy horse, let's go to the power play rankings and see how everyone's doing. In 12, we have Torval, who has gained 8 places, and not gained 8 places, gained 8 systems up to 460. In 11, we have Winters, who has gained 4 systems up to 517. We have in 10, Delane, who has gained 4 systems and is now at 624. In 9, we have Kane. Woo woo! We have Kane, who is gained 3 systems and is now at 647, close on the heels of Petraeus, who has lost 5 systems, which is his second week losing systems, now down to 651. Then we have Antal, who has gained 3 up to 711. We have Archer, who has gained 3 in position 6 up to 747. Hot on the heels of Lee Yong Rui, who has gained 3, that's easy for me to say, and his total is now 829. Yuri Grom takes the 4th spot with 1 more system at 1026. In 3rd place still is Arissa, gaining 4 systems with 1,341. Then in 2nd place is the blue-haired princess, Aisling Duval, with 4 more systems with 1,417. But still in number 1 is Mayon, who has gained 1 system and now has 1,446. And those are your power play rankings this week. Yeah, Petraeus has lost he's lost 8 systems over the last 2 weeks. I think it was -3 last week. He's the only one.
Amazing.
Only one. I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things. When I was filling in the table that Colin does every week, there's a lot of movement between stronghold and fortified and exploited, which I'm sure is, if you're right into power play, it's really exciting. I was just enjoying seeing the numbers move, if I'm honest. It looked really cool. But yeah, there you go. There's your power play rankings. That's really fun to do. I don't know why Colin bulks at it so much. That's really fun.
Do you think we're actually going to see next week, we could potentially see that table actually move around the procession of names?
I wonder.
Kane and Petraeus, maybe. Kane and Petraeus, Kane
so
647 and Petraeus is 651.
Oh yeah.
I think we might go. We may possibly get our first swapperoonie. I don't know. I don't know, boy. It's getting close. It's getting close. It's getting exciting between 8th and 9th place.
I wonder, and this is only because when I don't know where you get these figures, but I had a very quick look at Inara, and I was curious to see that Inara summarizes the powers with the number of strongholds. I'd kind of be curious from someone who's really into their power play whether the total is the most meaningful way to rank these, or whether strongholds is.
I'll tell you where you can find them. Where this Colin is getting this information.
Yeah.
He is logging into the power play board. So you go to your right hand menu, look at the power play board, and then you click on the power play, and it says how many strongholds, how many fortified, how many exploited. But if you don't click on it, the only thing it shows is the total.
Right.
So the game classes the total as the most important.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where, well, that's certainly where I got that information from this evening. So I don't know. Hey, I think it might be that time of the week again.
Store alert!
We've got new bobbleheads.
We have. I'm still chuckling at what Ben's up to. Sorry.
We've got brand new bobbleheads. We have got a Type 8 bobblehead, a Python Mark II bobblehead, and 2 cargo container bobbleheads, which are all 8,400 arcs each. We also have a brand new pack for the Type 8, which is a Type 8 runner pack, which I'm not going to say my opinion. I'm going to let other people say their opinion. Hey, what do you think, fam?
Yes, okay. So I love the little bobbleheads. I do like bobbleheads. I might get a little Type 8 from a big Type 8. That appeals to me, that idea. The Type 8 runner pack's interesting because I think it was literally the day before it came out. Somebody on Twitter was having a bit of a moan in reply to one of Frontier's posts saying, what about, where's this? Because they did show us this ages ago when they first launched the Type 8. I think they gave us a sneak peek of this.
Did they?
And I'd forgotten it. And then I saw it when they released it. I thought, oh yeah, that was the thing that they said, yeah. It's good. I like it. Somebody had it on Saturday night when we were racing.
What thing that does what?
The Type 8 runner ship kit, which kind of puts a cowling in between the 2 prongs of the Type 8, like an awning. They gave a sneak peek of that when they first launched the Type 8. But it didn't come out. Anyway, it's out now, and I saw someone had it on Saturday night when we were racing. It's all right. It's quite cool, actually, I think.
I do like the fun little spoiler at the back. I think that looks quite neat. I'm not sure what you do with that little space in the middle. You know how kind of like wedge something in the front, and it's got like one flappy wing. I don't know if is there supposed to be like a wing on the other side, or is it just one flappy wing?
I think there is a wing on the other side. It's just because of the perspective you can't see it.
I can't see the other flappy little wing. Okay,
probably not.
Because it's kind of got like the additions that it does on the 2 prongs. You've got 2 sort of bits that sit on top of the prongs. They put something in the middle of the prongs. They've put a go faster spoiler on the back so that it has downforce, and they've given it little wings. It's it's cool. I mean, runner. Is the Type 8 a runner? It's a bit like putting running shorts on me, isn't it? It's not quite.
Chris Five, what do you think? Right, okay, Chris Five, what do you think?
They gave the Type 8 a hat, and now it looks like a crab. This pleases me.
Okay.
I don't like the little spoiler at the back, but apart from that, I kind of like it. It reminds me of when they did, oh god, what was it called? Streamlining on old steam trains to make them like more aerodynamic.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like
I see
the
that.
Mallard and stuff like that. It's got that vibe going on. So I kind of like it. It's nice. I don't know if I'd pay 15,000 arcs for it though.
16,800.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 16,800. How dare I underestimate the crab pack by 1,800? But yeah, it's nice enough, but I don't think I'd spend that much on it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Bobblehead wise, I'm thinking what we need is a little limpet to go with the cargo.
Yeah,
bobblehead.
I was going to say
We
that.
need a little limpet.
The minute I saw these cargo containers, I thought, hang on a minute, that reminds me of Nick Lambert's little limpet.
We need a happy limpet.
Yeah, we need a little limpet. Little limpet. Have we got a little SRV yet?
I don't know.
No, because I would have it. Surely, no, we definitely
like
don't.
surely,
you'd have it.
Have a little SRV.
So, if you get the Type 8 and the limpet bobblehead and the cargo rack bobbleheads, the little limpet bobblehead should move between the Type 8 bobblehead and the cargo rack. The cargo bobbleheads as well.
Or you could force the perspective depending on where on the dashboard you put the ship, the container, and the limpet.
Yeah,
so that
sure.
if you move the camera around, really it would look like the limpet was like far away from the ship, grabbing the container. Excellent.
Yeah,
please.
Amazing.
Thanks, Frontier. I don't ask for much.
Ben, what do you think of the runner pack for the Type 8?
I like some of the paint jobs in it.
That's fair.
But I prefer the paint jobs over the
Mm-hmm.
the things what they try to do to change the silhouette of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But that's basically to me because the Type 8 should be a lovely industrial ship,
Mm-hmm.
and it should be proud of that. Give it. Oh, I think for the Anaconda, I've got like a ship kit that gives. Puts a whole lot of struts outside of it and big lights and things.
Yeah.
Or either the Anaconda or one of my ships have got something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the big, the hazard,
the big
hazard packs.
Things. Give me a roll bar and things.
Yeah, I'm very much in the same camp as you. I very, very much dislike the what they've done in smoothing it out. I think it's taken away a lot of the character of the Type 8. I do like the purple and pink skin though, as you will quite happily assume that I will. I mean the bobbleheads. I love seeing new bobbleheads. That's really great. But I was gonna say, and then I saw Tal said it in the chat as well, that they remind him of a certain energy drink. And I'm a Monster drinker and not a Red Bull drinker, so I'm not going to be able to get those. But it's nice seeing new bobbleheads. It's nice seeing that given a little bit of love. The other thing that we have in the store, if they've changed what's on sale. So the items that are on sale are it's a bunch of the salvage packs, but it's the salvage in blue and green. And pretty much everything, including fleet carrier skins. So if you don't have a skin on your fleet carrier, salvage blue and salvage green are available. They're all right, and they're pretty good value.
Half of them are all right.
Which half?
Half of them are shit.
Which half?
The blue ones are lovely. I like the blue ones.
Do you not like the green ones?
Oh, green and yellow is ick.
Oh, I don't mind them.
Oh God, no.
It's got a bit of a garden centre vibe to it. Like they should be delivering compost or something.
Okay, I was thinking the blob alien from Red Dwarf with
right.
green and the yellow, maybe a couple of shades of red in there.
I think
There
I
is
think
an
the green
abun-
and the yellow.
No, go ahead.
I think the green and the yellow does look more industrial. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, with the name
Mm.
salvage paint job. I think the blue one looks too nice to be a salvage job. You spend forever
Yeah.
cleaning it after a salvage job, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you've got the blue and yellow stuff on. I wouldn't call it salvage. It's a nice paint job.
The green one, you said it looks good for a garden centre. Well, there is an abundance of bio waste being generated in the galaxy at the moment. So I
Well, there you
think
go. You
I
should
think
be
that's
it.
probably
need a
why you
brown
need
paint
it.
back.
What, to wear the brown trousers just in case of spillage? Absolutely, we do. Just in case, you can never be too careful. Right, I think then in that case we will have a little bit of an ad break, and when we come back, we'll have a lovely chat about Elite while we haul stuff.
Hi, I'm Trent Stephen Findless Jr., and I'm here to tell all you pilots about a great new service. Take a listen to my friend, Pete.
My name's Pete, and I'm a long-distance haulier. I drive a Puma, shipping farm machinery from Leasty to Saweo. I love my family and I don't mind being a hard-working blue-collar dad, but I'm tired of seeing my family grow old in front of my eyes. Every time I make the run there and back, I lose 15 days in hyperspace. My family is starting to notice that they're getting older and I'm not. My wife had a baby last week. I did a week of shifts and now my kid's got teeth. I wish there was some way my family could get old at the same speed as me.
There is, Pete.
How?
By buying into my new service, Findlist Cryogenics. We aim to put the freeze on the premature aging of your family. The process is simple.
Our unique family centres allow you to drop off your loved ones on the way to work. Simply hire the number of cryogenic pods you need and keep your family asleep while you fly among the stars. We ensure synchronicity with your flight patterns so they spend the same time awake that you spend in the cockpit.
And when you get home, bingo! Your family is the same age as you. Never lose family time in hyperspace again. We guarantee that you'll never miss another birthday, anniversary, or funeral.
Wow, Trent, that sounds great. Where do I sign?
Simply put your credit card details into our special webpage under the hashtag WeFreezeYourLove. We'll take care of the amounts, no need to worry about that.
It's so simple. I can't wait to keep my family in a secure block of ice. It's a weight off my mind.
Findlist Cryogenics, now at your local spaceport.
Findlist Cryogenics, because the family that grows old together goes cold together.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
Dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality. Constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream, free to live, and one day to become a commander and be free to blaze your own trail? Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
And welcome back. Ben, how are you getting on, mate? I can't go with anything else.
I might be killing a taxi driver in a minute.
So just to clarify, you've tried to get for our podcast listening audience.
Wow.
We have the Coriolis with the orbit with the or outpost inside it, and Ben has tried to get an adder from one to the other.
I'm trying to get a taxi to go from the outpost to to the Coriolis. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh my gosh. Incredible.
Okay, so apparently the AI doesn't handle that very well.
You get your money back and your taxi blows up.
Loitering is punishable by death, Ben.
Wow. Incredible. Wild. So I thought, because like Colin has done a check-in with all of us over the last few weeks, checking in how we're getting on with colonization and all of that good stuff. Do you know who we haven't asked? We haven't asked the Quiz Mark 4 and the Quiz Mark 5 at all how they've got on with colonization and what they've been doing. And I think I will start by asking, hey, Quiz Mark 5, how are you getting on with colonization?
I am focusing on one system, which I'm currently trying to build up. I've got too many things left to deliver for my ground base, which is, yep. So once that's done, that should become a refinery port, I think, or port with refinery economy. And then I'm just trying to balance everything else out. But yeah, doing all right. I'm really enjoying it. It's given me a reason to get playing again. So yay! I can't complain.
Nice. That's weird that you say that you can't complain, given the fact that I live with you and you have. So I will be calling you out on that in just a moment. Chris Monk 4, how are you getting on with your colonization efforts?
Well, I can't complain, really.
I don't live with you, so I don't know.
Well, what have I been up to? So what I did is I kind of found a system that was relatively close to Lave. I'm one hop away from the bar. It's the ideal place to live, right? You want to be in good proximity to the bar that you like to go to all the time. So I've colonized a system close to Lave, which means it's nice and convenient for materials. It's not the prettiest system in the world, but it's mine, okay? And I've got a couple of landable planets in there and a couple of places where I can put stations and stuff. I set off with absolutely no idea, no plan whatsoever. Like so many people, it's like you sort of start colonizing. You didn't really have an idea of how the mechanics and stuff were going to work. So have I set off on the best foot? Probably not. But I have made a start. I sort of fell down the rabbit hole of looking at the spreadsheets and things where you can kind of plan your system. And I suddenly went from, probably like do a little bit here to being like, no, I'm going to colonize everything. There's going to be stations, everything in orbit. I'm going to be everywhere. It's going to be ridiculous. So yeah, I'm now trying to balance out my sort of system. So obviously you've got to build your satellite to then build your tourist settlement. And then when you do that, it then becomes too criminal for some reason. Tourists are criminals, everyone. So when all the tourist criminals arrive, I now need a police station. And to build a police station, I need a relay or something. And yeah, so I've now got to go off and build a load of other stuff off the back of building one tourist settlement where all the crims are going to come in on their hollybobs.
Nice.
I now need somewhere to lock them up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, and kind of similar to what Chris said. It's kind of given me a reason to sort of get back in and do some bits and pieces. And I do like hauling. Like when you were saying earlier on about having a nice chill stream hauling, that used to be the majority of my gameplay was sitting hauling around. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I will ask Chris 5 first, because you said you had no complaints, and you absolutely do have complaints. Is there anything? Do you have any niggles about colonization?
Apart from the refinery versus mining thing. I mean, that's about that's probably my biggest one.
The refinery versus mining thing, please enlighten me.
The fact that there's no landable refinery, but there's landable extractions. The only refinery building you can build is a tier 2 hub that will murderize you if you accidentally fly over it. And it doesn't make sense, because why can't I land at a refinery and buy steel? Why do I have to go and build another thing? That annoys me. Because it feels like extractions should be the hubs and refineries should be the port type things, but they're not. So I guess just live with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. I get there's I do love it. I'm gonna preface this with, I do still bloody love it. I love what we've been given, but I would love for it to make a little bit more sense as far as what you can build and where. And it was kind of, because we talked about it on stream about we talked about it on the podcast, I should say. We talked about how people had done some research, and it, at the time, it looked like it was following the previous rules of the galaxy, but it does look like they've made extra rules for the for colonization and for like the player interacted colonization, and that's a little disappointing for me. I wish everything was singing from the same hymn sheet, which kind of makes me think maybe there was no hymn sheet to begin with, and we were suffering from confirmation bias when we saw ones that worked.
Yeah, I mean, that is quite annoying as well, the fact that you build your own system and then you look back at the existing systems and all the existing system should sell at its main port is poo.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense. How are you supposed to work something out when the normal rules don't apply?
I get you. I do get you. Alec, how have you been getting on with colonization this week? Have you done any? Because you've been doing buckyball and stuff. And then you've had computer issues.
I've been racing and throwing water around mostly. I can't remember if I'd done this by the time of last week's show, but I finished so I'd built this this little mining settlement in the middle of a field of lava spouts and things. And that completed. Had that completed last week? I'm not sure it had.
I can't remember whether you said it. I can't remember you saying it did.
I don't think it had. So it was slightly disappointing in that in its completed state, it put quite a lot of the geysers and lava spouts out. Whereas I was obviously banking on them being right in the middle of the main thoroughfare. But they weren't. So it's quite a cute base, because I mean, and it's very on brand, because it's a mining settlement, and it's literally its outskirts are surrounded by flaming lava holes and things. So it looks perfect. It's not quite as silly as I'd hoped, but it's quite nice. I'm quite pleased with it, and that's all I've done. I've got plans, but I've been distracted.
Yeah. I built my refinery Odyssey settlement today. And as I was bringing stuff to it, I was like, why have I built it here? What was it that possessed me weeks ago to decide to plop this here? And when I completed it, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's because it's got those little plants around it, like everywhere around. So yeah, that's and it's really pretty, and it's on this ice planet with an atmosphere, and there's a ring in the background as well. It's a really lovely picturesque place, and then my goal is to put in this icy ring is to put another asteroid base. So there'll be 2 asteroid bases in one system, but that's a lot of hauling. And the more I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying doing the hauling things, but I do like the going on work, doing like a stream's worth of hauling, having a couple of people contribute while I'm on stream, but getting it complete during that stream. If I put an asteroid base down, I'm like, this is going to be a couple of weeks, you know. The dopamine's not there for me. It's not that instant hit. So what would maybe satisfy that is maybe the next ship that comes. And I wondered what you guys thought might be the next ships that might be coming to Elite after the Corsair drops next week.
We've got 3 more to come.
We've got 3 more to come, and Frontier have pretty much said, don't get me wrong, they did say the Cobra Mark V was a medium, but they have pretty much said that we're not going to get any more mediums. That was certainly the impression that I got. Okay. So what are you expecting from the next ships that come?
I think the next one... Okay, so I know everyone always calls for the Panther Clipper, and it's a bit of a joke, because as I understand it, the actual Panther Clipper or its dimensions, it wouldn't fit in through the mail slot, so it's problematic. Funny, but problematic. But I do wonder if we will get, obviously with colonization, a really beefy, maybe in the same way that they sort of claimed, although I think it falls ever so slightly short, actually, that the Mandalay has the highest jump range. I think it falls slightly short of the Jumper Conda, if I'm right. But basically, it's set out to have the highest jump range by a few more. I wonder if they will release a large cargo trader, which will, by a few tens or maybe 100, end up with the largest cargo capacity, while still fitting through the mail slot and not being a Panther Clipper.
I think for sure we'll probably get a massive hauler.
And really industrial will be quite fun. There's a ship, I think it's Star Citizen. There's a ship in Star Citizen where it's basically all the cargo's on the outside. So it just looks like a load of those sort of cargo containers strapped together, really, with a sort of ship on the inside. I'd love to see something really industrial, and
it's like a 3D version of the big container ships.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
I want to see the Zorgon Peterston Routemaster.
What are you on about, you crazy man?
I want a giant fucking bus.
Okay. What, like a bigger... What?
Well, basically, I want. We're not going to get a medium ship again, apparently. So, I want a large, industrial-looking bulk passenger transporter.
Okay.
Like a beluga with lots of ooze in it.
Like a beluga, but more peasant-looking.
Yeah,
more peasant.
That's why I'm thinking Zorgon Peterson or something like that. If it was in the Star Citizen universe, it would be a Drake. But I want something. I don't think maybe a Lakon, but I'm not sure, because I think Lakon just do, they're transporters rather than they're cargo. But they Lakon have the boxiness that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially,
apart from the Challenger and the Chieftain and all that.
What about you, Chris? 5.
Large Alliance combat ship, and a medium passenger ship. And I care not for your rules, so I will ignore them. Good day to you.
That's fair. That's the sound of someone who has been game mastered by me for too long. I care not for your rules.
Yeah. And I want the Large Alliance combat ship to have the little twiddly engines like the Chieftain and all that have, because it pleases me.
Yeah, I want the Alliance to have a combat ship. I agree with you there, and I don't want to be the Type fucking 10.
Well, the Type 10 was only an emergency one. That was the point of it. So now they can make a large combat ship
Yeah, a proper one.
with Skull and be the first ones, apart from
I
the
would
PlayStation.
love that. That would be good, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
What about you, Chris?
Oh, well, I think we're definitely, like, with all the hauling that's going on for colonization, I suspect we're going to get a large cargo vessel at some point. I kind of like the idea of potentially they do a couple of variants of the big thing. I like Ben's idea of having, like, the budget people carrier also being the like a cargo ship. I know we've all went into the large bracket, but maybe some sort of nimble new small fighter or something.
Okay.
You know, some sort of like nimble smaller ship. Because we've not really gone that direction yet either. I know that we're all kind of leaping to, we want big and huge and massive and combat and trading thing. And I'm like, but you
think it's sort of like an Imperial Eagle but with an STO drive?
Yeah, like a fancy Eagle with more bits and pieces on it, maybe. I don't know. I guess the problem with the smaller ships is there's not. I always have said that about the larger ships as well, though. To be fair, is there's not really an opening for a new smaller ship. Like, what's it going to do apart from just have better SEO?
I was thinking.
But when you see the stylings of the new ships, though, I think they could make a cool small fighter look bloody gorgeous.
They could release the fastest ship in the game, couldn't they? Just for the hell of it. They could release the fastest ship in the game.
I think you guys made a very valid point, I think, earlier that, you know, I'm with Psychit in some respects that, you know, I miss my crate, my Cobra Mark III, I'm not going to say Marder, but my Eagle or whatever. I miss my classic ships. But I think you're right. This is Elite Dangerous SCO generation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And essentially, I'm not going to say we have to write those ships off, but there's
an element of moving on, yeah.
To do 30 new ships, filling out that bracket again with all the different options. Except give us money, please.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Hey.
It makes but it makes sense.
You know how we've been talking about large ships and medium ships and small ships? Can I introduce you in the new class of ship, the extra large? And can we, what about the extra large ship? And this is this opens the world to massive fucking ships full of cargo and like massive ships that have loads and loads of weapons on and trounce everything, but they suffer when it comes to turning. But who needs turning when you have 15 hard points? Do you know what I mean? Nonsense vehicles.
I am 100% with you. I want ships that cannot dock in the standard way and fly into the thing. You know, give us something. Maybe make the ship dock on the noob hammers. Or some kind of external docking pad or something.
Potentially.
External pads. Or, I mean, like, if we're really going out there and adding new features and stuff to it, like the ability to kind of dock with it like a mini fleet carrier of some kind. And you've got your wingman at the moment who can go out and he can fly your ship launch fighter. Imagine if you could go, right, now go and do all these cargo runs for me to the station and bring me back the goods, or sell off this bio waste that I've had to get out of my colony, you know?
As we said last week, though, that's verging into X4 territory.
Yeah.
It is getting slightly down there, but you're only sitting there with that one co-pilot or a limited number of co-pilots or whatever that you can put in there. It's not quite sitting there at Fleet Manager where you plonk your fleet carrier in and you sort of start putting a bunch of orders out and they just go off and do it and you log off for the week and come back and it's done.
I will say, like, it was kind of a joke, but also there is, if you look at a large pad and you say you've got a Type 9 on a large pad, there is definitely room on that pad for more ship. If you're looking at a Type
Just
9,
a big flying brick that's the size,
100%.
the exact size of the mail slot.
Give me a Type 7 and just like shift click a corner and drag it and make it big. That's all I'm after. Just give me a Type 7 and have that fit a large pad.
Four Type 7s and a bunch of bungee cords, please.
100%. Let me strap some Type 7s together with duct tape, job done. The Type 14, or dare I say it, the Type 21. That I am on board with that. That is that's what I want. Fuck your Panther Clipper. Give me the Type 21.
And that would be what you would call it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
Amazing.
But yeah, just like if you look at any of the large ships, you're like, there is space here. There is. What's the word when there's like space that's not being used? What do they call that? I can't remember.
Greenbelt.
No,
it can be more
not
optimized, maybe.
There's something where you like look at all the like in property. You say, not dead space. It's not wasted space or dead space. There is something else, and I can't think of it. I think it's in property, and I cannot remember what it is. But I just think like look at all of this extra space that we could be using to give us this nut ship that is going to be like will not only act as Ben's bus, because it will work as a Ben's bus, but it will also you can pack so much cargo in this bad boy, and that's my ship.
Are using those limpets with not the limpets, the little grabby hand skimmer type things. Like you can just deploy like a whole bunch of them to offload your cargo bins. Please.
We do need a little grabby hands.
Yeah, with the little grabby hands, like they can grab the stuff off you and then take it in. And then that way you can offload. And then once all the containers are off you'd then be small enough to get through the mail slot, you see. So you could still land it if you needed to swap it out for your small, nimble, fast fighter. But also you could carry like absolute tons of cargo. But let's face it, our ships are TARDISes. They can make up whatever size internals that they want.
100%, absolutely.
So you know they can pretend that our engine bay is actually way smaller than we think it is, or anything like that. But you could limit it. You could sort of say, a bit like we've got the ships that you can only fit a passenger component in that slot, or you can only fit a military component in that slot. You could have bits that are just limited to being cargo only, so it doesn't become too weirdly powered in other ways, for want of a better description.
Well, you saying like there's certain ships that have military slots.
There's like military slots
slots
or transport slots. It's like it would have cargo slots, so that it's not.
That's fair.
They're not sitting and going, oh well, we can't give all these sort of large class slots, otherwise we'll fill it with shields and shield booster cells, and it'll be like some flying fortress. It's like make it that it's sort of cargo only, and then that way it sort of gets round the worry of it being some sort of strange battle beast that was not intended.
Yeah, okay. All right, giving me limitations on my dream ship. Sure, that's fine.
Sorry. I'm putting limitations on it. It's tough luck.
Everyone else is getting their fucking power creep, and here I am. You've got limitations, Claire.
Set no limits.
I think that there's definitely something there for a large ship, or like a big hauler. Also, what about another SRV?
As long as it's a motorbike, I don't mind.
There we go. That was like Ben's speeder bike.
Ben's speeder bike. Alex, do you think
I don't know actually. I don't know actually, because I just really like the Scarab. I don't really use the Scorpion. I can't. I'm struggling to imagine an SRV that's more fun than the Scarab actually for my needs.
There is. It's called a motorbike.
No, you see, I never really. Everyone else screams for this motorbike, but I never really got the motorbike vibe at all.
What about like a convertible with the roof down? You know, it would look quite neat. Like a quad bike. You could have like a quad bike, Alec. Would you like a quad bike?
I like Epipha's suggestion. An SRV with 5 pips. Yeah, let's have that.
5 pip SRV.
This one goes to 5.
This one genuinely will take you into orbit if you do it wrong. Yeah.
What if, hey, what about one that you can just like check out like a drop ship? Do you know what I mean? Like you just hovering above a.
Well, they should all do that. I just don't.
They should all do that. Yeah,
you should be able to do that in a scarab theory.
Yeah, you should be able to drop SRVs from a hovering ship for sure.
Oh, so are we adding that as our new ship on our ship list? We're now going to have an actual drop ship.
A drop ship.
Yeah, unlike having a ship named a drop ship that we can't use as a drop ship unless we are drop shipped by
what's happening
frontline.
Who needs drop ships when you've got an adder?
What is happening? my brain has completely fried with the amount of drop ships that just happened. I genuinely feel like I short circuited somewhere along those lines.
I thought of a SRV.
Go on then.
A science team SRV where you can scan for plants and stuff.
And it can do 2 or 3 of them.
And but make it a bike for Ben.
No, it's going to be a big chonker of a thing. Like a Unimog, but it'll do science with cool scanners and sciencey greeblies that'll spin around and make booping noises.
A cannon cycle, I like it.
Sciencey greeblies that'll spin around and make booping noises.
Yes, because that's how you know it's doing the science.
That's true. It does need to have at least one radar on it for the booping noises, and an occasional beep.
Yeah.
I do like that though. Where you might be able to just store multiple samples though as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of do that anyway once you scan 3, because then you just put it in your magical pocket and you get another canister.
Let me scan this one, and then that one that's its neighbour, but it's a different plant. And then that one that's its neighbour, but a different plant.
I mean, that should just be engineering on the thing.
It'd just be engineering on the suit, the ability to do multiples.
Yeah.
You're right. You're not wrong.
That should just be a thing that you can get.
Oh, I agree. It should be a thing. It's called a memory. Congratulations, you found a USB stick.
Well, maybe you could tune in once your ship scans the planet for what biologicals are on it. You get in your science mobile, and then you can specify the scanner on it to focus in on a certain one.
Yeah,
and it'll do the
like
thing.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. It's scope for an exobiology focus.
Yeah.
Land vehicle. And it could answer the thing that people wanted from the on foot, which is it could have storage for more than one sample at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Something that would help people find back. I hear that it's a problem for you to find bacterium. Something that would help people find bacterium quicker.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it if you just go into the camera view and then zoom all the way out.
Just look under your fingernails.
Then you can use that to find bacteria pretty quickly, and then you can kind of like try and Hot Wheels your little SRV over to it. But something that you could say, selecting the scanner from drop down of known biologicals on this planet, and then it would do the weird waveform scanner at the front.
Oh yeah.
That thing. And it would just kind of, the peaks would be the bacteria.
Yeah, have one of those tuned to biology rather than geology. Yeah, it's cool. That makes sense. Do it.
Yeah. How hard can
it be? There it is. Amazing. Yeah, those are some wild ideas. I'm glad that we had this chat. I don't know about the Corsair. I think I've said it enough now. I hope I'm wrong. There we go. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's wonderful.
I mean, yeah, I love it. So it's not definitively bad. What's the word? It's.
Do you mean just the looks of it that you hope you can tolerate, rather than the spec?
I hope that I hope I'm wrong in that it doesn't feel like the ship to beat all other ships. Kind of like the way that the Mandalay did. There was on the thing that Frontier asked me to do. One of the questions was like, can you explain, talk about which ships have come in? And they obviously didn't use mine because I got to the Mandalay and I went, that can't be intentional, and I stand by that. I just genuinely don't think it isn't. It could have possibly been intentional for it to be a ship that was to like become such the meta for a lot of my activities. But maybe it was. Maybe I've been wrong plenty of times, but we'll see.
I just think the view from it's going to be rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be like if you were a borrower stood on Jared Depardieu's face.
It looks all right from the video they've released.
Yeah, but like that honker, you're not going to see below it. Like, you wouldn't know there's like the ground's coming at you because beak.
Yeah, but there's other ships that are worse than that. Or the same. I was going to say, actually, I forgot to point this out, but when I was back in Community Corner and I was going through the Buckyball results, so we were kind of a bit worried about the Mandalay and Buckyball because we were thinking this thing is just going to dominate and everyone's going to be in Mandalays. And interestingly, and I don't know whether people are just being stroppy or deliberately obtuse. Shay probably is, but Shay's in number one in an Imperial Clipper. Tobias von Brandt is in second place in a Sidewinder. Sulu is currently third in Mandalay, but apparently has just beaten that in a Sidewinder. So it does seem like the Mandalay is not dominating, at least that side of things, the way I thought it would, which is interesting.
That is interesting, actually, because I would expect a sea of Mandalays, much so like in the Titan Cup event final results, where almost everything is a Mandalay.
Oh yeah, we all turned up in Mandalays for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are we proving our point and also not proving our point at the same time?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
I think the thing is, though, with the other ships coming along, with your new mediums, like you say, okay, the Mandalay is maybe the one to beat just now statistically, but then you're then dropping in the Crosshair. You're going to be dropping in some large ships potentially, or small ships, or other bit. So the dynamic's going to kind of change again, and we always gravitate to the new shiny, no matter what new shiny is. We normally end up gravitating to the new shiny, or at least I do. I can't speak for everyone, but normally it's like new thing comes along and you go, oh well, I'm kind of a little bit bored of flying my Mandalay at the moment. I'm going to go off and fly this new thing, and and then you'll end up settling down back into a rhythm again with other ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose I'm really bored of flying a cutter at the moment. I'm not going to lie. But that's the only bit that I don't like about hauling. I think we should probably, given the time, move on to our question of the week, which was all about the Corsair. If you don't know, I was a little bit late this week because I was on a beach, and I got back and went, oh, I haven't done the question of the week, and then I had to log into everything. But we had normally on a Sunday around sort of 2 p.m. on our Twitter, on our Blue Sky, and in our Discord, we ask our question of the week. And this week, the question of the week was, we were given more details about the Corsair on Frontier Unlocked. Now you know more about it. Has your opinion changed? Will you still be getting one? Do you have any concerns about any ships that are being added? Chris 4.
So I have got Mark Gamer 01. The Crosshair looks looks like it will be able to excel at a number of roles, from the AX Chieftain crowd to the Python owner miners. Everyone will have eyes on this new kid on the block. Lots of established builds will be retired, I feel.
I think I'll be good at sniffing.
Be good at getting into little nooks and crannies to kill commanders on the ground. When people sort of duck behind boxes, you'll be able to like nip at them.
Yeah,
perfect.
Like a winkle fork or something. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Oyster fork, whatever.
Oyster catcher, yeah.
I have Simon. I'll be getting the Corsair for sure. I honestly don't care if new ships are slightly better than old ones, as I've been flying old ones for years and years now. I think that's a fair enough opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I get it. I get it.
JCB Digger says, I was always going to buy one, but I'm defo getting the ship kit to de-beakify it. It could be the end of my... Team No Beak. It could be the end of my love affair with a Mandalay for power play dependent on how efficient the Supercruise overcharge is. It's a plus camp for the Corsair there, although de-beakified.
De-beakify. I get it. I totally get it.
Profane Pagan saying, I'm still going to buy it, and I'm happy they narratively explained that it is not an Imperial Navy ship. So I'm going to use it to blow blow imps off the sky with. I hear some people are anxious about power creep. We'll see how this one flies and what its vulnerabilities are. In my opinion, ship builds metas are secondary in winning a battle. Nothing trumps real piloting skills, agreed. It seems to me that the Corsair is a new generation of heavy medium fighters. It's exciting to imagine a possible arms
race
balanced by Frontier Development. That the ship could ignite. So we need more roles in the future.
Okay. Evo Flash says, I think the first picture was deliberately provocative. The angle made the beak look massive. Once I saw the dynamic images, I changed my opinion. I think it's somewhat grand and more than a little imperious and very naval/seaworthy. I get vibes of the FFE2 Courier, which I loved. I'll get one for sure. I don't know what the FFE2 Courier was. Those of you who played, I think Ben, maybe?
No, only Colin.
Only Colin.
I was too busy with girls back then.
Okay. That was shade. That was mad shade as well.
Oh, in 84 I wasn't, but in the 95, 96 kind of time, yeah, I was.
Nice.
I've got Daedalus. I'll definitely still be getting a Corsair. Size-7 thruster sound insane. My main concern about the new ships is whether there'll be something new from Lakon.
I have Finn McRaven. We'll be getting one, but I fall in love with the new kit for my Type 8. When I get the Corsair, I'll no doubt de-beak and paint it black. No concerns so far with the new ships. The bigger the ship roster, the less likely we will all be running the same ship.
Unless one ship is greater than the rest of them, and then we will all be running the same ship. Just saying.
I think that's an interesting point. And as you quite rightly pointed out at the Elite Races event on Saturday, we were all in Mandalays, and actually that was a bit kind of boring. And I think, for example, with Distant Worlds 3, we definitely saw this with the others. I think a lot of people were trying to pick something that stood out, something that was different, something that had a paint job. I think a lot of people don't want to be in the same ship as everyone else, so I think there's definitely a case for that. But certainly at meetups, people will get bored of everyone being in a Mandalay and deliberately pick something else. We shall see.
Turn up with the majestic plumage of the Corsair.
Yeah, indeed.
Or a crate.
The adder. Julius says, I still feel that the Corsair is too overpowered. Over the time, the design has grown on me. I still like the beaky version. Yes, Team Beak. Reminds me of a yacht. On a less serious note, do you guys and girls think the next ship may be called Razor?
Why? Because it's a Panther Clipper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anyone who would make that joke.
No, it'd be too obvious.
Especially not twice.
Yeah, make it once and then make it again, and I don't
100%. I don't know. No one would do that. That would be weird.
Wouldn't dare.
You should see if making it a third time makes it funnier. or even more funny, whatever it is. Anyway, Commander Snails is saying, I'm definitely still getting one. It might have to up the arcs and go for the Stellar Edition. Ooh. But I guess that makes me Team No Beak. Boo!
Woohoo!
I can see this replacing my Crate Mark II as my mission runner. The sort of haul cargo, but still need to do a bit of fighting. The only downside I can see from the information we have is there's no mention of a ship-launched fighter bay, true, which is available on the crate. It does feel a little bit too good, though. I wasn't a fan of the original Python because it's too good an all-rounder. On paper, the Corsair seems to take the same mantle. A weird thing to say, I guess. But I'm hoping there's some sort of Achilles heel in its design to level the field just a little.
I'm hoping for that as well, Commander Snails. I just, on paper, it just looks really, really good. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if that's really good, then the next ship has to get... The next ship has to maybe be better, and then that's when my concerns about power creep. Yeah, there's my concerns about power creep. If the Mandalay was great and the Cable Mark 5 is great, they're both really great ships, and lots of people will fly both of those ships. But then if the Corsair comes out and that's better than both of them, and then everybody gravitates towards the Corsair, then the next ship has to be better than that, and then that's where that's what I mean by power creep. Just for anyone who's curious as to what I'm saying about that, Shay brings up a very good point in chat, saying that the Mamba also looked really good on paper.
Yeah, there is. I was going to say there's some important stats that we're sort of ignoring. You know, they always give out the modules and stuff, but I was thinking about the comment from Snails about the Python being too good an all-rounder. Now, I loved it. My Python Mark 1 was my home ship. It did everything in it. But I would acknowledge that as a combat ship, at least maybe the way I outfitted and flew it, I found that its pitch rate, for example, was a little bit low. So I tended to have like gimbals or even turret, because I was constantly rotating, trying to get someone in my sights, you know. And so, yeah, there's some real important numbers there that we just don't know about the Corsair. Its pitch and roll rates could be terrible.
True. Absolutely true. It looked pretty smooth flying around those asteroids, though. But maybe that's somebody with a bit of practice.
That was just straight line.
Yeah, it was just straight line fighting. I know. I don't know. I hope so. I really do hope that there is an Achilles heel to it. I genuinely do. DJ Wiley says the stats look good, but agree it does seem a little OP. It's going to be the best all-rounder and potentially best medium combat ship. Overall, I'm happy Frontier are adding new ships, but I think it would be great if they could add other new stuff for ARCs also, such as a new SRV or a new fighter, potentially a new suit or weapons for Odyssey on foot stuff. It would bring a bit more variety to the additions. I think that's a really good point.
Sorry.
Oh, imagine Frontier releasing a whole update called Odyssey and then barely fucking touching it for years. Imagine, couldn't be us. We wouldn't expect that. What if we had one new mission, that protect thing, and then the reactivate, but you had to be like stealthy around the revenants. That one, and then there was
the Spire weirdness.
The Spire, and that
And two out of those that you've mentioned are now gone and cannot be redone.
Exactly. Like 2 of them went in temporarily. And you never know. Lots of people say, oh, but what will the Thargoids might come back. Yeah, they might. But we don't have that now. We don't have that thing to do now. So we've not had any stuff.
But I think Horizons was very similar. You know, it was released, and then there weren't a lot of expansions upon the Horizon gameplay.
In a way, almost nothing. What can you do in the SRV?
Yeah.
I think the only expansion gameplay that I can think of for Horizons, and I'm not even 100% sure that this wasn't here already, is the Guardian stuff.
That was in Horizons.
Yeah, but I can't remember if that was that in the base Horizons or was that added? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, that was like around the arrival, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
It might be just slightly before my time, but
I think everything else is pretty much not really added.
But that's the thing. It's almost as if Frontier are releasing this product that is a paid for product, and then they are not incentivizing people to. It's like they're scared of incentivizing people to use that product that they've bought out. It's weird to me because they don't do that with the Planet games.
No,
it's like, hey, come and get this, get all of this new stuff, get this new DLC, and you'll be able to do all of this stuff that's exclusive to this DLC, and that continues, and it's like look at the new things that we have, and then that will continue and go on. But there's not that with. It's like, hey, we're going to give you space legs, but then we're not going to touch it for years.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple of little extra things that are only going to be temporary.
We're not going to give you, I don't know, running races or something.
Not even that, but we're not going to give you more things to do
with the tools we've given you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got your cutters that can cut into panels and stuff, but you can't do, but you can't do sort of salvage stuff or, or extra things for you to scan with the sampler or bits like that. Even just little minor little addendums to some of the stuff. Maybe that's a whole topic for another day. What's missing from but yeah.
Hey, if we need to fill 1 week, we've got that.
Yeah, exactly. Add it to the list.
Okay.
I've got Nicey. Obviously, I'm going to get it. Probably going to put free railguns and free cannons and have a blast. No pun intended. That was totally an intended pun, Nicey. We know you. With bounty hunting. I do wonder if we're making the old ships obsolete. I think there's a theme going on here. Especially with the SEO performance. No idea how you could solve that, though. Well, you could just have it explode when it gets too far from the station or something. It's just got a manufacturing defect. Occasionally explodes. There you go. That's it. Solved. I've nailed it. It's just got a random timer. Every once in a while, it'll just explode. There's no explanation for it.
RNG exploding.
RNG.
Cool.
It just happens. You might have just taken off. You might have flown into the deepest of space. It just explodes, okay?
Yeah.
It happens.
Okay, I got Epicurus. I think wait and see for when we get the full specs. Maybe watch some streams to see what it can do. I'm not sure what I would use it for. Maybe a power play mission ship. Not a massive fan of how the front of it looks. That said, I don't really like the belly Mandalay, but still fly it. Just take less screenshots of it.
I love how the Mandalay looks. I think it's great. Yeah, there we go. That was question of the week. Does anybody have a mostly clueless? We didn't add one, but I'm just seeing if anybody's got something pressing that they want people to know.
Yeah, I got a tip. Don't spill water on your computer.
Excellent tip, Alec.
Alec.
Excellent tip. Everybody take note. In which case, does anybody have any other business? Excellent. I'll take your silence as a no, and we will move on to the shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or for just the audio at radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, you can check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. We have The Guard Frequency, who do other space games. We have The Loose Screws. And also, I'm going to try and figure out how to do this. While I just let the funky music do the talking, those of you who speak French can listen to the amazing folks over at the Elite Dangerous. I definitely butchered that. Podcast, and they also have their website with all of their great stuff that they're getting on with at the moment too. Hey, I'm hoping that following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Wotherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. So thank you so much to those of you who have chipped in on Twitch chat and our in-game commanders. Who have you seen?
We have had Commander Rocky Star, Ulrich Octavius, Finn McRaven, Soka42, Hibuki, and Frozen Satsuma.
Amazing. Ben, have you made it out of the station yet?
I've made it out of the station, and I've made it
brilliant.
into the station that Chris says I can't get to.
And you're in it?
And yeah, I'm there as we speak.
Okay, perfect.
It could have been a random timing thing or something, I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
They've taken the asteroid out.
Special thanks then to Commander Takoso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who created the music used on the show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, then you can find contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. Thank you to Alec.
Thank you, Claire. Good night, everyone.
Thank you to Ben.
Bonjour, bonsoir.
Copy that. Thank you to the Chris Mock 4.
Bonfire. Goodbye.
And thank you to Chris Mock 5.
Bye.
And special thanks to today's tech specialist, Epaphras.
You're welcome.
You see, that's how his name is pronounced, just for anyone who might be curious.
Epicris. On the screen. A-P-A-C-H-R-I-S. Is that right?
I don't understand what is happening. Until next time, you rat bastards. Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted into them. You need a safe word. Space can be loaded. I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 1st of April 3311. We read the news so you don't have to. This week, we visit some outposts. Some silly outposts. What's the silliest outpost in the galaxy? It used to be easy to answer that question, but with the coming of colonisation, there's a surprising number of new candidates for the title. Let's have a look at a few of them. Hutton Orbital used to be the undisputed silliest station. 0.22 light years was a 75-minute supercruise to a very ordinary outpost with a couple of rare goods, including the Hutton mug, available to purchase by those mug enough to visit. The new Hutton orbital in Dabby Major is a far more respectable 0.51 light-year supercruise. But that's not really silly, it's just a long way away. In the nearby Dabby Minor system, the Hutton truckers have set up an outpost orbiting one of the system's 3 black holes. In a similar manner to the Lantern Light Acellus starport, it orbits very, very fast. Meterond Hollow is positively glacial by comparison. Commander Eros Madelung has calculated that Palma Gateway is travelling at around 1/20th of the speed of light, which means that the people living on board the outpost will experience only 354 days of no doubt highly fulfilling lives, in what to an outside observer would be a full year. The inhabitants of the station are aging 11 days less every year than everyone else. Commander Lavalane, who built Lantern Light in the Lalande 25224 system, appears to have been unwilling to give up on building starports in silly places, and he has supplemented the Acellus with an orbital outpost, the Candlelight. This outpost can at least be landed upon, and its rapidly changing velocity in orbit makes magnetic boots entirely unnecessary. Thankfully, a physics-repellent field is in place around the station to limit this effect and to prevent those living there from being turned into meat paste. The star of the silly station's show, though, has to be the Michael City Outpost in the Call 285 sector TY-W B16-1 system. Here it is, an outpost. It may look like a Coriolis starport, but that's where the builder of Michael City has been very clever indeed. And no, that thing sitting beside the Coriolis, that's not an outpost. That's Bird's Eye Reach, a comms array. And there's another orbital structure 50 kilometres away, but that's not the outpost either. No, to find Michael City, you need to look closer. Much, much closer. Through the oblong window. Yes, Commander Lilman Smokey 307 has built the outpost of Michael City inside the German city Coriolis starport. What an inspired bit of system architecting that is. Of course, there are problems. Despite appearances, the outpost is not turning. It's the Coriolis rotating around Michael City that turns the whole station into a large, slow meat grinder, ready to mash up any ship silly enough to get caught between the two stations. But it does mean that there are 3 more landing pads than any other Coriolis. Regulars at the bar in German City have become completely used to seeing a massive outpost hanging still in the middle of their rotating station. The antenna and service modules of Michael City scythe past the windows of the bar, disregarded by those inside. They don't even flinch when bits of outpost come scything through the middle of the concourse. Of course, not everyone likes having an outpost in their starport. Pilots working for the Imperial Enforcement Division have been mounting a campaign to push the outpost through the toast rack and into a slightly different orbit. Here we see them pushing the station infinitesimally slowly towards what's likely to be a bit of a squeeze to get it through that toast rack and out into space. On current estimates, if they don't get help from the Pilots Federation, it may take as much as 10 years to separate the two stations. In retrospect, the decision to fit 4 trusses or noob hammers to German City might have been a mistake. The permanent crew of the adjacent Bird's Eye Reach installation are apparently not delighted by one of the steel and titanium struts smashing through their habitation area every 24 seconds. Meanwhile, Canon Interstellar is busily building an outpost in the Kappa 1 Volantis system, in the hope that when their megaship the Gnosis arrives there on Thursday, the outpost and the science research vessel might be left in an intimate, metallic embrace. Brewer Corporation and the Pilots Federation are of course treating the early Trailblazers era as a learning experience. It's likely that they'll intervene to sort out some of these unusual stations, as they've already offered to do with the Lantern Light Acela starport. It would be a shame to lose all these oddities. Perhaps some of them will remain, but just in case, you might like to visit them while you can. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news, so you don't have to.